Well, Merry Christmas Eve. Can you believe we've almost made it? I mean, just tomorrow, really tonight, when the clock strikes midnight, it will be Christmas. I just get like a kid, I'm sitting here beside my mom's Christmas tree in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm wondering what's going to be under that tree in the morning. Tonka trucks. I just don't know. I'm just so excited. But the world, the Bible says, was waiting, expecting something from God when Jesus came. And then he came and he wasn't recognized. That's so sad to me that in so many people's lives, the reality, the presence, the personality, the power of Jesus is not realized. John, one of the best friends of Jesus and his closest disciple, he wrote a biography of Jesus because he wanted to express who Jesus was through his eyes, through his experience. And I love how he starts it. He says, in the beginning was the Word. I love the Voice translation of the New Testament. It really gets to the root of the Greek language and coming from the Aramaic says, in the beginning was the Voice. In other words, the expression of God. We express ourselves with our words, with our voice. That's the most common way for somebody to know us is through what we say and how we say it and when we say it and who we say it to. And so here, the eternal God voiced himself to humanity. And he goes on to say, and the voice was with God. In other words, how God communicated was commensurate with who he is. And then it says, and the voice was God. In other words, God doesn't express a false narrative. God doesn't express or put on a mask to be something other than he is. So many times we say things, we express ourselves in a way that we think somebody else wants to hear us or how we want them to see us. But God is just completely honest. He's truth. And so he just is. And so John says, in the beginning was this expression of God, and the expression of God was commensurate with God. There was no difference in what he said and who he was. And he said, and that let us know that his expression was himself. And then he said this, and that expression of who God is, the expression of who God is, became a human and lived among us. He says in that same passage of introducing Jesus to us, in him was life, and in that life was the light of life. In other words, the illumination on how to live we find in the life of Jesus. And Jesus is the expression of God in human form. We miss that. We have such religious limitations in our hearts and in our lives and in our minds, thinking about the power of divinity in our lives and the power that Christmas really brings to us. It's not about a baby in a manger, although that is the opening chapter, but it's all the rest as well. It's the revelation of the love of God. It's the revelation of the transformational power of God. It's the revelation of the purity of God that can come in our lives and through our lives. We become now the expression of God because, as John said in another letter later on, not the biography of Jesus, but a letter to followers of Jesus, he says, as he was, so are you in this world. I don't know, many times I look in the mirror and I wonder how great or good or adequate of an expression of God that I am. I love people. I love people. I love persons. I love personalities. So much so that I think it gets me in trouble sometimes because I've never met too many people that I'm not just interested in. There's just something about people that interests me and I want to know more. And sometimes that's mistaken. Sometimes that's twisted. Sometimes I even twist it myself. But at the core of who I am, I believe, is the expression of God. And I'm not really willing to give that up because I want people to feel valuable. I want people to feel loved. I want people to feel like they matter, just like Jesus allowed us in his interaction with humanity And even with his interaction with us now, if we'll allow him to, he'll let us know how valuable we are, how treasured we are, how wonderful you are, how lovely you are, how lovable you are. And on this Christmas Eve, I want you just to think about this truth, that God, the God of the universe, the Creator God, so wanted you and me and us to know what he was really like, that he expressed himself in human form. And I love this. He says, and he was filled with grace and truth. There is that reality of the truth of God that we cannot escape. But there also is the reality of the empowering grace of God to allow us to receive it and then to live it out so that we become the expressions of God in our lives in human form. I'm Phil Underwood, and I'm hoping that you have expectations this Christmas of something of the divine, not just a present under the tree, but a present in the heart. I would love for you, I beg you almost, to interact with me, to say hello, to say Merry Christmas, to say what any of this has meant to you. God bless you and have a very Merry Christmas. And don't miss tomorrow, because there's going to be a special character in the very last day of the 12 days in characters of Christmas. I'm Phil, and I hope to hear from you very, very soon. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video with someone. Bye-bye.